Good morning, Grenada. It's your boy Troy Gill, and welcome to Rise and Shine. And of course, you know how we do it. All right, we have lots of great information, great content coming your way. But of course, we want to start with this morning's fitness to get you pumped and ready for today. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Say hello to Grenada's hidden gem, Mandela Court, a Grenadian-owned luxury boutique hotel tucked away in Lansipine. Our fully equipped suites are now complemented by an international standard restaurant and conference room. So whether you're having a formal business event, quaint garden wedding, or just a relaxed dinner for two, you can count on Mandela Court for that luxurious experience. Call today to book your viewing or reservation. We look forward to welcoming you.
The Nawasa app brings the power of Nawasa's customer service experience to you. Instant, conversational, and smart. Easy access anywhere. Get bill balance, transaction history for up to 6 months, report a fault, link to websites, view payment centers, contact information, push notifications, and multi-tenant accounts, all in a secure login platform. Like a self-service concierge app, mobile.nawasa.gd gets you the support you need much faster. Available on both Android and iOS platforms. mobile.nawasa.gd, your customer support companion. Nawasa, committed to meeting customers' needs.
Quartz Black Friday Reloaded this week only. Shop from Thursday the 24th of March for up to 60% off selected items. Save $900 off a Land Ranger treadmill, only $1,999. HP ProDesk PC, now just $2,299. Save $400 and get the LG 43-inch UHD 4K Smart Television for only $1,999. Save $1,000. Plus, with Quartz Ready Finance, get 2 months free. Get all the best deals. Black Friday Reloaded only at Quartz, bringing value home. Stores open from 8 a.m. See in-store or online for details.
Good morning, Grenada. It's your boy Troy, and of course, you know, this morning we want to get straight into our workout to get you pumped and get you ready for today. We are here in St. George's, just over Sendell Tunnel, guys. All right, and this morning's workout is focused a little bit on more of your legs, a little bit of your core. All right, guys, so we want to get straight into it. So follow me as we go along. All right, you guys ready? So put your hands on your temple, you lift your knees up. Right, we're gonna alternate it, then we're gonna get some squats going. And like I always say with the squats, all right, you squat to where you can reach. For those of you who have bad joints, you have bad knees. All right, you guys ready? Let's go. So 1, squat, nice and easy. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, nice and easy. 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! Then we're gonna get into a state of what I call active rest. All right, guys, so we're gonna be doing 2 movements this morning. All right, so we're gonna get into the second movement. All right, guys, so this is what I call active rest. You're resting in and between workouts, but you're still, right, burning some calories, right, lifting those knees, moving those hands. All right, guys. All right, so second movement. You guys ready? Let's go. 1, squat, nice. 2, nice and easy. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! Good job, guys, if you were following. And like I said to you before, if you can't do the deep squat, all right, you can squat to where you can reach. All right, guys? Right. All right, so we're back into a state of active rest, right? We're trying to burn as much calories as possible and get a nice little sweat going. All right, guys, and like I always say, always take your sips of water in and between sets, right? Make sure that you stay hydrated. All right, so we're into our second round. You guys ready? All right, let's go. 1, squat. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Woo! Good job, guys, if you are following. And this is going to help to tone, right, your leg muscles. All right, guys, squats are very effective for toning your legs, right, your glutes, your hamstrings, your quads, right, getting your legs nice and toned. All right, and with that first movement, it also targets a little bit of your abs as well. All right, so we're back into a state of active rest, right? We're getting into the second workout in the second round. You guys ready? All right, let's go. 1, squat, nice and easy. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! Good job, guys, if you were following. And remember to take your sips of water in and between sets, right? It's important to stay hydrated, guys, really important. All right, so we're going into our third and final round of exercises, right? And like I said before, this is a very effective exercise that targets your legs and your abdominals as well, your abs. All right, guys, to get you nice and toned, right? Are we still in a state of active rest in and between sets? All right, guys, very effective, very simple, yet very effective workout. All right, guys, like I said to you before, I just want to encourage you, right, to squat to where you can reach for those of you who have bad knees. All right, guys, so we're into our final round. You guys ready? Are you guys ready? All right, let's go. 1, squat, good. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! Good job, guys, if you're following. And now we are back into a state of active rest. All right, guys, remember, take your sips of water in and between sets as well. All right, so we're into the final exercise in the final round. I hope you guys have been following. All right, guys, you guys ready? All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one more, 10. Woo! Good job, guys. If you're following, very simple, yet very effective exercise that you can do to get your legs nice and toned, right? Get them in shape, and it also targets your midsection as well. All right, guys, so we're gonna do a quick cool down just to get a little stretch going. All right, guys? Nice. So you spread your legs apart, nice and easy. Push your knees back. You reach down as far as you can go, down to the floor, nice and easy, to where you can reach. If you can touch the floor, even better. Woo! And back up. Then you stretch this way. You hold it. Nice. Back the other way. Stretch. Woo! Nice. Good job, guys. If you are following, and I want to encourage you to make water your #1 beverage. All right? Remember to stay hydrated. Drink as much water as you can. All right, guys? And I also want to encourage you to make healthy choices as well. All right, guys? Thank you so much for joining us. See you again on Rise and Shine.
Now, there are some females that would have mentioned that by taking certain contraceptives, it may have affected their periods and so forth. Right? Can you shed some light on this?
Yes, that's true. Some persons, again, everybody, their body is different. So some person will take it and they have no problem. Others will take it and they will have problems. It's the contraceptives, they are hormonal, and women, they produce hormones too. So some persons will take the pill based on which one they will get enlarged breasts, put on a lot of weight, and it's very, so they can take one with just a single hormone instead of the double hormone. And some persons, they don't want to have a period, so they don't mind seeing it. All it does is just prevent the buildup of the cervical line, where it's waiting for a pregnancy and fertilized egg, but if it doesn't occur, it will go just come off like a period. With the depot, a lot of persons are saying, I'm not seeing my period and I'm happy about it because I feel so sick, while others say, nah, I want to have able to have a period. We work with you, and I'm saying some persons, they are not even sexually active, but they will come for the injection. Again, some persons, they like, with culture, they like the big bottom and the big hips. They love some. I want to go because I want to put on weight. Again, it's an individual thing, but it is true that some persons do have issues with any type of hormonal contraceptive. So they may best suited for condoms or the IUD. We have the copper IUD. It's not hormonal, so you wouldn't let them put on weight, and they don't have to worry about taking a tablet every day or going and get the injection every 3 months. They could have that IUD as long as 10 years. They're ready to take it out, be it one year after. Whenever they do take it out, they get pregnant the next month. That's easy. But we get in a few of the hormonal, because persons are the hormonal IUDs, because persons are asking for it, they can help with persons with other polycystic issues and so. So we're trying to meet the need of those persons, but very limited amounts. Remember, persons produce their own hormones and they are putting additional hormones. So then most of the complaints is that they are putting on weight, excessive weight. But I say to persons, if you know you just had your lunch and you're still feeling hungry, drink some water, take a fruit. Don't just go with the, exercise and, do different things to help control the weight, because you don't just go in with a feeling hungry and just eating. So you could control the weight. So when the persons come to get the contraceptive, we'll check the depot, or most likely we'll check the blood pressure and we'll be checking their weight. Based on what it presents, we'll say, no, you need to work on that. This is too much. We can't give you whatever the reason.
I'm Tonya St. Louis Lawrence with the details. Government is refuting claims that they have decided to appeal a High Court ruling of March 29, 2022 against the state of Grenada on the pension issue. According to Legal Affairs Minister Kendra Maturin Stewart, the government is yet to discuss at cabinet or legal levels, and as such, no decision was taken on the matter.
As it stands right now, the government awaits the written judgment and a full legal briefing. Any attempted representation of the government's reaction is therefore premature and largely speculative, if not in some instances mischievous. In the initial official statement Tuesday, in reaction to the High Court ruling, the government reiterated its commitment to finding a permanent solution to the entire pension issue, while understanding it is an extremely difficult and complex issue.
Minister Stewart went on to speak on the only decision taken by government since the ruling was handed down.
The only firm decision the government has taken in the 24 hours since the ruling is to declare its intention to invite the trade unions to have a discussion on the latest developments. As it has been, especially since 2018, the government not only stands for open dialogue, but has initiated it on many occasions as part of its consultative approach on matters of national interest. The formal request for continued dialogue will go out officially today.
Public Relations Officer of the Public Workers Union, Daisy Hazard, has, however, indicated to our news desk the following.
The legal team representing the government did ask for leave to appeal the judgment. We do not anticipate that there'd be any such appeal made by government. We do not anticipate that the government would instruct the Office of the Attorney General to appeal the judgment, because we stand on the public pronouncements by Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell on this matter, where he indicated that once a judgment was returned in favor of the workers, he as Prime Minister and the government of Grenada would abide by that decision.
Hazard says the workers who have been long awaiting for a ruling are pleased with the ruling.
We have pensioners who are in tears today, joyful tears, giving God thanks and praise. As we've said, to God be the glory, great things he has done, because there is a hope and faith has been restored in our country that these pensioners who are already retired and living on the breadline would now begin to see their gratuity and increased pensions so that they can live comfortably or decently in their retirement.
One trade union leader says the sudden dismissal of employees of the Consolidated Contractors Company CCC, especially for an entity that is key to the country's infrastructure development, does not augur well for Grenada's post-COVID economic recovery, which hinges on the construction sector. Troy Gill has more.
President of the Commercial and Industrial Workers Union, George Mason, weighed in on the dismissal of 3 employees of the Consolidated Contractors Company, or CCC, which incited the workers to down tools on Monday. Speaking to MTV News on Wednesday, Mason said the sudden dismissal of workers can have negative implications.
Now, if every employer in Grenada decide every Monday morning to pick 10, 20, 30 workers and say, okay, we send you home, we have no problem with you, so go home and we'll pay you. You know how uncertain the job tenure will be, you know, how certain and vulnerable the economy can be. So I'm flabbergasted. I'm at a loss as to why an employer can resort to such method.
The workers are not unionized. However, he says he's yet to determine why employers feel emboldened to treat workers as if they are expendable.
All you are saying, I have the right to fire and hire. So this morning, you're going home. And I'll pay you for the years of service. You have a family. You have your bills. You have your plan in your head as to how you will take care of your wants and needs. And then you are told that you're going home. It tells us that something is wrong with the psyche of our employers. Something is wrong with the way we think. And if that is allowed to continue, it will affect the trajectory which we are planning for our economic recovery.
He said the quarry plays an integral role in the construction sector, which in turn will stimulate post-COVID economic recovery.
And we're talking about an industry that is critical in this present public sector investment program that the government has. We're talking about a quarry that employs hundreds of people, a quarry that provides all the bitumen and aggregate for road repairs and bridges and drains that the government is embarking on presently. 70% or more of the government public sector investment program is centered around construction.
In a recent update, MTV understands that the employees who downed the tools on Monday returned to work on Wednesday morning. According to reports, an amicable meeting was held with the 3 employees who received dismissal letters. However, up until news time, it is unclear whether they will decide to return to work or accept compensation. For MTV News, Troy Gill.
Bishop Clyde Harvey of the Diocese of St. George's in Grenada says there are many challenges within the diocese in Grenada, including financial problems and personal problems within the homes for the elderly. Bishop Harvey says it is shameful what some of their workers are being paid, and according to him, COVID-19 disrupted their fundraising process abroad. Nikita Hostin has more.
According to Bishop Clyde Harvey, it will take more than $5 million to bring back the diocese to where it used to be. The Roman Catholic Diocese of St. George's encompasses the entirety of Grenada, and in the past, one way the church was able to increase its finances was by inheritance.
It is very, very important that the people who are doing the parish finances understand what they're doing, do it honestly, and then we're able to pick up from there and see what further is made. I made one request on Saturday, which I make here now. We need for some people to make what we call bequests. That is, that you say, either when you die or by a deed of gift while you're alive, that you're leaving certain properties, monies to the church. That has always been a way in which the church has been able to handle its finances properly. And we have to try and raise some of that. When I think of what happens in so many places where people leave money and the money is practically wasted by to family and so on and so on. We have to understand our obligation to do the best by those who trust us with their best.
The bishop explained some of the challenges faced within the church. He says personal contributions are needed.
Because I am embarrassed by what we are paying most of our workers. Right? Most of our people are working in conditions which are difficult, yes. But what would be a just wage under those circumstances? We have to clarify that and try our best to meet that man. So all of this, and then the other issues around accountability. One of the things that is becoming more and more important is that the parishes must do 2 things. One, they must understand that they have a responsibility not only for themselves, but for the diocese as a whole. The diocese is not a parish. So the diocesan offices, what we call the chancery, have to be sustained with help from the parishes. And when parishes do not send in their proper accounts and so on, then you end up with problems.
Bishop Harvey says their fundraising process was negatively impacted by the pandemic. Nikita Houston, MTV News.
Pretty larceny in schools and unrestrained animals are some of the main challenges that the authorities within the Pretty Larceny Task Force and the Ministry of Agriculture are being asked to assist with. The issue was recently brought to the attention of Commissioner of Police Edwin Martin by a concerned 4-H officer who noted that government schools are the ones mainly affected. Our news team spoke to the principal of the South St. George Government School, who also shared the students and staff's plight. Donella Hostin reports.
The issues of unfettered animals and predial larceny in schools, particularly government schools, are of grave concern to many. One school, South St. George Government, has fallen victim to such acts. And according to their principal, this is indeed disheartening. He told our news desk that predial larceny is posing a serious problem and it affects the interest they have in planting crops at the school, knowing it may be stolen.
Example, has to contend with the issue of predial larceny like many other schools. It means that if you plant stuff, very often you could find yourself seeing that it has been interfered with. To human interference, you also have animals that roam freely and they're tied on the compound. When they're tied, sometimes they get away and they go into the garden.
This, he believes, has mainly to do with the openness of the schoolyard. According to him, the installation of a fence, which will be maintained, and the possible use of security cameras as well, may help to curb such issues.
Well, I must start with the issue of fencing. That's one of the basic solutions that we're able to fence, and fence it in a way that it's long-lasting, it is strong. In addition to that, another way that you can solve the problem, not just with fencing, but because we live in an age of technology, schools are close to garden very often, especially with 4-H and with schools, and you can use technology also to monitor.
According to Melissa Tyson, 4-H officer attached to the Ministry of Agriculture, who was present at the Meet the Farmers session with Commissioner Edwin Martin and his team, there needs to be an awareness and education campaign to help. Tyson also made the suggestion to the police to train volunteers to assist the predial larceny task force.
Just like the fire department have volunteers, maybe you could get volunteers to train to work with the predial larceny task force in the event that, I'm just saying volunteers in terms of maybe drivers or persons or farmers with transportation, whether somebody could give you a transport to your disposal.
Our news desk reached out to Commissioner Martin to find out just how they would be handling such issues within the schools. He said the team has not yet completed their analysis of the meeting, but he can confirm that the suggestions made will be taken into consideration. However, they cannot do this on their own. They would need to consult the relevant stakeholders. Reporting for MTV News, I am Donella Hostin.
Minister with responsibility for youth development, Kate Lewis, affirms that the government youth development programs are not politicized, but are there to benefit all eligible young people. She explained more about the selection process and attempted to clarify myths people may have. Donella Hostin has more.
Thousands of participants have completed many of the youth development programs initiated by the Ministry of Youth Development. However, there have been some concerns raised about the process by which participants are selected. Minister with responsibility for youth development, Kate Lewis, says concerns about the transparency process has been raised before. She explained the process, which she says should be happening.
Let me explain that we do have the Imani Secretariat, where young people can fill out the application forms and submit it there. The Imani Secretariat will compile a database of all the applicants who have expressed interest into the program. Secondly, we do have participants who will visit their constituency offices, discuss with the MPs their interests as well.
She says the participants list is received from the constituency office as well as from the youth center where youths go to register. However, she added that the MPs do review the lists to ensure that the interested people do get a chance to be a part of the process. Lewis says there is more to this.
To say that it is the MP submitting the list is not entirely correct. We do have the Secretariat who will present the list of applicants through the years who have expressed interest, as well as those coming through the constituency offices.
Minister Lewis assured that the opportunities presented are for all interested youth.
We ensure that all of our young people are given a fair opportunity to participate in all of our programs. And that is why we have the Division of Youth Development with different units. So the Youth Biz unit will spearhead the registration and implementation of the small business training and grant funding that you're speaking about. It was advertised publicly so that young people can be aware and be given a fair opportunity.
But it is those who meet the criteria who will be selected. It is not based on any political alignment. Reporting for MTV News, I am Donella Hostin.
We now join Nikita Hostin, who has engaged Sergeant of Police attached to the Fire Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force, Thaddeus Hamilton, to speak on fire statistics for the year thus far as
Good morning and welcome to Rise and Shine for today, Thursday. It is the 31st day of March, is the final day in the third month of the first quarter of the year 2022. So significant, so much is happening and happening so quickly. So it's always a pleasure to be here with you. I welcome all my viewers, listeners, those in the diaspora following us online. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Arcelyn Crosby, and it's always a pleasure being here with you to give you that perfect start to your day. Yes, my voice is still a little bit hoarse, so I am not back yet to full bloom, but I'm working on it. So I do ask for your understanding this morning as we take you through another Rise and Shine program here on MTV and Magic FM. It's now 7:37 in the morning. We know most people start their workday at 8 o'clock, so I mean you're not far from there. But what we're going to do is go across one time and get our weather report for the morning so we can help you plan. And then once we do, we take our break and we go on over to have our first discussion for the morning. Today we're talking the NDC's activity in the diaspora and also the most topical one now around pension, the court ruling on the pension matter. So we are now going over to the Met Office. Good morning to the forecaster.
At Banjule, it is fair a moderate breeze from east-northeast at 12 miles per hour. The barometric pressure is 10.4 millibars, which is below normal and rising.
Thank you so much, Mr. Robertson. And that's the weather forecast for today. Please, let's use it to plan our day. We are in the dry season, but we know that we can get some showers. In addition to that, if we look around, we realize that we're about to go into the deepest part of the dry season. And you know that's when it can become a bit challenging for water. So I know NWASA would join their voice in this and encouraging people to please ensure that you have an adequate supply of storage to be able to serve every member of your family, including your pets. So be mindful of this. Outside look very, very brown. We have been having some very hot days. So please, let's do what we can and always be prepared. So we're going to take a quick break now. When we come back, we speak to Mr. Leslie McQueen on the NDC's activity in the diaspora.
The NWASA app brings the power of NWASA's customer service experience to you. Instant, conversational, and smart. Easy access anywhere. Get bill balance, transaction history for up to 6 months, report a fault, link to websites, view payment centers, contact information, push notifications, and multi-tenant accounts, all in a secure login platform. Like a self-service concierge app, mobile.nawasa.gd gets you the support you need much faster. Available on both Android and iOS platforms. Mobile.nawasa.gd, your customer support companion. NWASA, committed to meeting customers' needs.
Say hello to Grenada's hidden gem, Mandela Court, a Grenadian-owned luxury boutique hotel tucked away in Lansipine. Our fully equipped suites are now complemented by an international standard restaurant and conference room. So whether you're having a formal business event, quaint garden wedding, or just a relaxed dinner for two, you can count on Mandela Court for that luxurious experience. Call today to book your viewing or reservation. We look forward to welcoming you.
Introducing the Grenlec mobile app. You can now get your bill balance and easily track energy usage for your home or business. Report and receive alerts about power outages. Plus, stay up to date by receiving the latest notifications. Yes, the Grenlec app keeps you connected anytime, anywhere.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business,
for your education,
for your financial freedom,
for that new ride.
Upgrade your life with the Communal. Contact us today.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us. As indicated before we went on the break, this morning we were speaking about the NDC's activity in the diaspora. And to share more on this with us this morning, it's my pleasure to invite Mr. Leslie McQueen. He is the chairperson of the Planning Committee. Mr. McQueen, good morning and welcome to Rise and Shine.
Good morning, Ms. Crosby, and much pleasure to be here with you this morning.
Wonderful to be here, and I am very grateful that you're taking away some time from your very, very busy schedule to speak to us today. Let's talk. We're talking about the activities in the diaspora. Something that started yesterday should be going up until into the weekend. Speak to us about that South Florida activity. I know that the political leader is also out there in South Florida with you.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm very pleased to talk about the trip. The political leader arrived here last night, just about 7:30, with his delegation. The other members of the delegation is Brother Andel from St. Patrick's West, and the treasurer of the party. So we have 3-member delegation that came up here last night. We have a number of activities planned for them for the next few days. Actually, last night when they got in, they met with the planning committee. There are 15 members committee that are planning the activities, and we met last night. So the political leader basically state his objectives that he would like to achieve while here. Basically what he wants to do is to interact with the Grenadian community. He would like to meet with some of the Grenadian businessmen. There are a number of Grenadian businessmen in the South Florida area, and they've been doing very well in different areas, in the areas of health, in the areas of agriculture, manufacturing. So he's going to meet with some of these people and get ideas, initiatives for the development of our country when the NDC wins the next election. Also, we're going to have some fundraising activities because, as you know, as you said, to win an election, we need money. So we're going to raise some funds. We have a number of activities planned for the political leader for the next couple of days.
So it is multiple objectives for this one. Outside of engagement, it also is dealing with that of raising funds. Out of this, though, I know it would also form part of mobilization, because being out there, if you're reaching out to the business people that are out there, we're also getting in touch with the diaspora. And the diaspora do make up quite a significant portion of Grenadians. From what we learned, even more than who's on island. So it is an important trip for the political leader and the team who's out there.
But it is extremely important. And we are heartened here by the kind of support we were getting from the Grenadian community. And not just Grenada, there are people from the wider Caribbean region that are coming out and being a part of what we're doing. You know, they've been purchasing tickets to attend our activities. There has been tremendous excitement in the South Florida area towards the trip that we're currently experiencing. And we know that the activities that we have planned, for example, tonight we're having a major fundraiser, which would be a sort of, a reception for the political leader. And we're going to have some local government officials coming and welcoming him to South Florida. They'll be making remarks. And the political leader, of course, will address the gathering. We ask persons who are coming to make donations, and persons have been making donations thus far towards that event. So we're looking forward to tonight's activity, plus the other activities that we have planned for the political leader and his delegation while here. As I said, we are very much pleased with the reception we've been getting from persons, and not just persons that are supporters of NDC, but what we're seeing here is that Grenadians in general, persons who have supported NNP, they are coming on board, and they're saying that we really need change in Grenada. Things are not going in the right way, and that is what we are experiencing here. And we are building on that. We are getting these people involved. A number of them are part of this planning committee that I'm heading, and we're looking forward to just bigger, greater involvement in the future.
You did speak to that of people moving, and I know that that's something that will, and it is also the aim, because I think it is understood, it goes without saying, that your base cannot help you win an election. Elections are won on converted votes, being able to win others over, and it is also one of the reasons for this visit, to be able to woo more into, supporting the party, so that you can be successful at the next in the next electoral cycle. How has been the reception to the new leader? I know it has been quite a rocky past for the party, but now you have a leader, young one, well-spoken, an illustrious professional background. what has been the reception, the party base, and also supporters, even new ones?
Well, I cannot speak too much for Grenada, what's going on in the country, in Grenada per se, but I can speak for the diaspora. I mean, from what I have picking up on the ground in Grenada, it seems that there is a buzz, there is a momentum. That's what I'm picking up on the ground in Grenada. But I'm definitely seeing it here firsthand in the diaspora. I've seen persons and some of the businessmen he'll be meeting with during the course of his visit. They're coming from other states. Someone came from Georgia last night. Another person is coming from California. So persons are coming out in the numbers to meet with him and hold discussions while they're here. And as I said, the community is very much involved in the process in terms of the planning, in terms of the support and their involvement generally. So we are excited about it.
I think the prospects look quite encouraging. Outside of the South Florida visit, I know it's supposed to be, there should be another part to that diaspora trip. After South Florida, where do you go from there?
Well, this trip is only South Florida. Initially, the political leader had planned to move on to New York, but for obvious reasons, they have decided to concentrate on Florida this time around and spend more time in New York a little later on. So sometime in May, the political leader and a delegation, heading a delegation, will go to New York and spend much more time than they're spending here in Florida. So this trip is specifically confined to Florida and our activities here.
Okay. So this one is just for Florida. New York could be later on in the year. But in addition to that, I know that the preparation for the next cycle continues. How has that been in the diaspora?
Well, as far as I understand from the New York chapter, which has been functioning effectively for quite a while, they're putting all of the pieces together. They're in the process of planning activities to facilitate the political leader when he gets there. I know they're going to have a public meeting at one of the venues in the Brooklyn area, and they're also going to have a reception. The political leader is also going to meet with the members of the New York chapter. So there are a number of activities already planned, and I'm sure it's going to be another successful trip outside of Grenada.
Okay, wonderful. There seemed to be a plan and, of course, a well-oiled machinery to see how we can change the tide in this time around for this election. I know you're not here in Grenada, and you would not be able to speak so much to what's happening on the ground here, but just as a party in general, expectations, prospects, looking to the future, I know that we can tell the excitement sharing from you, the trip, and also the response of the people. Expectations moving forward.
Well, yes, the expectations is very, very high. I mean, people are on a high. People want change, and I think that is being manifested throughout the diaspora and, of course, in Grenada. People they believe that the NDC is the party that can take the country into a different direction. They believe that NDC has a program and the personnel to place emphasis on what's important for Grenadians. And they believe that the leader has a good agenda. So we're heading in the right direction. That's the general sentiment that we've been receiving throughout. And we believe that whenever elections is called, the NDC would be right there, whenever that bell is rang.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. McQueen. I don't think you might have heard me there when I came in that place. As I said, the encouragement, it is encouraging listening to you. Just the enthusiasm one and the expectation, it sets the tone for what can be a good contest in the next general election. I think that is what the NDC will be aiming to do in the next cycle.
Absolutely, and we are looking forward to it. We are working hard. We are mobilizing our forces. As you know, we're putting our candidates together. We're almost there. And we continue to build the party structure, involve the people at all levels, continuing with the registration process. And we are working hard, because we believe that the people want change, and we want to be that agent of change for the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Mr. McQueen. Just remind us again as to what's happening in South Florida. I know there's a big reception later. There are people, you have done your mobilization on the ground, but there may be somebody that's on the live that may be in the area and would love to join later so they can hear or meet the new leader, and also what are the plans of the NDC for Grenada.
Tonight at 6, we will be having the reception at Tortuga Bar and Grill. That's in Lauderdale Lake. That reception, we're expecting quite a few people to attend. We're asking persons to donate, at least contribute at least $100 to the event. And as I said, persons have been contributing so far already, and we expect a very good turnout tonight. The political leader will address the gathering, and tomorrow night, that's Friday night, we're going to have a meet and greet where the political leader will be having more of a sort of informal setting with the Grenadian community. We'll be selling food and drink. He will address the gathering, and that will start from 6 and will end at 11. And it's going to be in Pembroke Pines, Florida.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. McQueen. It's always a pleasure. It was a pleasure speaking with you this morning. I do wish you and your team every success in this evening's event and also tomorrow. And I think you have another on Saturday when you conclude the leader's visit, or rather the contingent from Grenada's visit to South Florida.
Yes. On Saturday, we have a Grenadian, one of the successful Grenadians here in South Florida. He would be hosting a reception from St. David's. He would be hosting a reception for the leader. So that would be more of a private engagement Saturday evening. And the political leader and his delegation would leave on Sunday morning for back to Grenada.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. McQueen. It was a pleasure speaking with you. I'm sure we'll be speaking again when the New York leg of things happen, as you are the chairperson for organizing these activities, just ensuring that the new leader do get in touch with the people. People have an opportunity to meet him, speak to him, share their thoughts, share their ideas, and of course, as you work towards ensuring that you build the party and that you are ready for the next electoral cycle. Organizing committee for the National Democratic Congress. This morning we were speaking about the South Florida leg of activities where the political leader, Mr. Dickon Mitchell, is out there in South Florida with a team from Grenada, including the St. Patrick West candidate, that's Mr. Andel, speaking there on the planned activity for that out there in Florida. So there's a reception later. There's another meet and greet tomorrow, and then Saturday a private reception for them to return on Sunday. So we do wish the NDC team the very best, all success in their activities as they go on and preparing, building the party so that they can be better prepared for the next electoral cycle. So to the team out there, wish you the very best. That's where we conclude this interview. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we speak to Jude Bartholomew, the court ruling on the pension matter.
Say hello to Grenada's hidden gem, Mandela Court, a Grenadian-owned luxury boutique hotel tucked away in Lansipine. Our fully equipped suites are now complemented by an international standard restaurant and conference room. So whether you're having a formal business event, quaint garden wedding, or just a relaxed dinner for two, you can count on Mandela Court for that luxurious experience. Call today to book your viewing or reservation. We look forward to welcoming you.
Introducing the Grenlec mobile app. You can now get your bill balance and easily track energy usage for your home or business. Report and receive alerts about power outages. Plus, stay up to date by receiving the latest notifications. Yes, the Grenlec app keeps you connected anytime, anywhere. The Grenlec mobile app. Download for 24/7 access.
The Nawasa app brings the power of Nawasa's customer service experience to you. Instant, conversational, and smart. Easy access anywhere. Get bill balance, transaction history for up to 6 months, report a fault, link to websites, view payment centers, contact information, push notifications, and multi-tenant accounts, all in a secure login platform. Like a self-service concierge app, mobile.nawasa.gd gets you the support you need much faster. Available on both Android and iOS platforms. Mobile.nawasa.gd, your customer support companion. Nawasa, committed to meeting customers' needs.
Glam out in the best names and designer frames with Quartz Optical. Buy one stylish frame and get 50% off your second pair. Sport your favorite Armani, Converse, Vogue, and many more frames for less. Get an additional 10% off and pay nothing for 30 days when you pay with Ready Finance. Book your free eye examination appointment online today on www.quartzoptical.com. Don't miss the opportunity to glam out, only at Quartz Optical. Value you can see. Offer available while stocks last. Special conditions apply.
Rise and shine.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us. If you missed our first conversation, we spoke to Mr. Leslie McQueen out there in South Florida, speaking about the NDC's activity in the diaspora. Mr. Dickon Mitchell, the new political leader, is out there meeting and greeting with the people and also the business people out there in South Florida. So now we get on to a second discussion for the morning. And with us, no stranger, we actually spoke to him last week. Very interesting conversation then. I did not ask about the pension matter, but the pension matter is back on the table. Mr. Jude Bartholomew, president of the GUT, the Grenada Union of Teachers. Thank you so much for joining us. Always a pleasure having you on.
Good morning to you, and good morning to your listenership. It's always a pleasure to be on MTV. Always a pleasure to be with you.
Let's go straight. The pension matter. Your reaction from the court ruling?
I mean, we will put on record here, we just want to give God the praise and the glory for, putting on a judgment and a ruling in our favor, in the favor of the teachers and public officers for the restoration of our constitutionally due pension. Is jubilation. I mean, teachers are happy, public officers are happy, and such. We know the consequences of that. If we go back in history, the different unions have been fighting for that just cause in terms of the restoration of pension or constitutional pension for many years. And I think really and truly this day that God has spoken. It took a long while, but we knew that we had to persevere and such, and that it will come. And victory did come for us. And that is basically what the workers, the teachers, the public officers are really and truly celebrating, giving God thanks and praise for a resounding victory. And the judge did the honorable thing and the right thing in terms of ruling in our favor. And to go back a little, can you imagine what was going through the minds and the suffering and pain, and you may say humiliation, that teachers and public officers undergo? For many years, the amount of teachers who retired, and we say retired hot, they retire and was just getting a little NIS benefit. Some persons, even if they make the 26 and 2/3 years, some persons make 30, even 40 years, and they retire and nothing really to get. It was unfair, unjust, and unfortunate. And that is what we face with. So I think that ruling is something that is very, very good and timely for workers. And not only for, for workers today, but this ruling also lay the foundation for workers to come, future generation. The young workers of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, they would know that they have something to look forward to. When you work and such, you must get the benefit of your labor. Even Jesus said, give Caesar what is due to Caesar and give God what is due to God. So I think it's a hope and a wonderful day, not only for teachers and public officers, but for the younger generation who are looking forward to work. And they know that when they reach the age of 60, or the case may be, they were entitled to a pension. That's the foundation that have been set, and we look forward to that.
All right, that's the ruling from the court. I know that the unions are ecstatic because it has been a very, very burning issue on the table for quite a while. In anticipation of what may happen, I know that there were talks that government has plans of appealing the ruling rather. How is the union preparing for that likely outcome, even though government has said that no decision has been made yet, as it was not discussed on the cabinet level? The union's preparation for a possible appeal, but there were also statements by government that they are looking forward to meeting with the unions so that they can discuss how we move forward. Either way, how is the union prepared for it?
What we're asking the government of Grenada to do is to honor the judgments of the court. We are a law-abiding citizen, and the court has ruled in our favor. And I think that the Prime Minister, the Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Mitchell, was on record saying to us and to the nation, to the general public, that he respects the ruling of the courts. And he was awaiting, and whatever, if judgment was in favor of the workers, that he was going to honor it. So he's on record saying that. So we hold the Prime Minister to his word, and we see what would happen. I think last night on your MTV, we saw one of the ministers did come out and did say that the government are looking forward in terms of a discussion with the various unions, and the government basically are saying that they give the commitment to upholding the law. They're saying also that there is nothing on record that stated that they're going to appeal. So let's look forward to what will happen. The different unions, when we reach that bridge, we're going to cross it together. So we're not in a position now to come out and say what we intend to do or wouldn't do with pension, because really and truly, we are anticipating that the government will really, honor the ruling of the courts. And if this government really and truly, this government knows, and the society knows, the pain and suffering that workers, teachers and public officers really go through for a long period of time without a pension. Imagine that you work for all this time, and when you're at 60, you have to go and beg your bread. Begging people, a lot of persons, a lot of teachers and other public officers, they're sick, they suffer, they die, and they never really got their pension. So if the government of Grenada claim that they love teachers, they love public officers, they love the youths, all right, who later on will come to work one day, I think that the best thing to do is to really honor the ruling of the courts. And that's what we're looking forward to. So when we reach that bridge, then we're going to cross. But we look forward and we're watching in anticipation to see what the government will do or the next move will be.
I think we would both appreciate that this one is quite a big one to deal with. It's a very complex one because you have to take into consideration everyone. What do you think might be a tabled approach as to how we deal with this? Because it's going to be a huge sum. Even though teachers have died, their estate may still be around, and that may need to be honored. How do we deal with such a complex matter?
Well, one understands the situation with pension. There are persons who have died, and we know that there is a backlog. And I think that the various unions will come together with the government of Grenada to sit down and to negotiate for the backlog. because one would say one doesn't expect that probably the government of Grenada to come up with that exorbitant sum of money for the backlog, which means the retroactive amount. So there we have to sit down and discuss how would they pay that amount. But we expect also going forward for persons who getting ready to retire and everything, and so based on the ruling, and then we still await the written judgment to see that the government would honor those persons from henceforth going forward and to honor the pension. And that is what we look forward to.
How about the ruling for me as you get into that part there? Outside of ruling in favor of the bringing back pensions, what are the other elements of the ruling? You just spoke to a part there, people who are just about getting ready to retire, that they will need to be compensated. And then we also spoke about the backlog. How do we move forward? Normally, even in the private sector, how pensions work is that we have a contribution from both an employer-employee. This discussion, I think our unions need to be especially prepared for what would be an interesting, and you always said that a collaborative approach. This one will take a lot of collaboration. I think we can agree to that.
I think that we make, and it seems as the public sector and probably people in Grenada do not really understand the difference between the public sector and the private sector. Yes, the private sector, they have their own private insurance scheme. Also, they get the NIS benefits, and they also get the benefit, pension benefit from whatever firm or organization that they work in. Well, with the state now in Grenada, the government not just doing us a favor. This pension is a constitutional pension, and that was put there by, in terms of our forefathers. I want to say that probably Sir Eric Matthew Geary must be really, really happy and turning in his grave. And probably we might see him smiling even in the botanical garden, because he, and even you may say the white people, we sometimes talk about, the white people and such, and we must be proud of our blackness and our heritage. But it was basically the white people, together with Sir Eric Geary, who ensure and enshrine this pension in the Constitution of Grenada. They did not leave it in the hands of politicians. Why do you think, the question we have to ask, why is it that the framers of the Constitution did not just leave it in the hands of the politicians? Because they did not trust them. They secured pension for the workers of Grenada. All right, they secured for the public officers and teachers in the Constitution of Grenada. And to get rid of this pension, you basically had to have a referendum by the Grenadian people, 2/3 majority to move it. So even if the Grenada Revolution did get rid of it, when the Constitution was restored, one would want to see, it is very amazing and probably a measure of curiosity that our politicians did not see the need of restoring the pension in the Constitution. They put back everything else. But when it comes for the worker, that is what happens. So I think basically is not a guessing game there. That is a constitutionally due pension with the Consolidated Fund of Grenada. When you work with the states, you serve the country for a number of years, 20, 25, and the maximum or minimum years basically that you're entitled for your pension is 26 and 2/3 years. So that is the Constitution of Grenada, that you serve the state, you are permanently employed and everything, and that you should receive your pension and your gratuity from the state.
Okay, so your pension and gratuity from the state, and that's according to the con. And that's why I'm saying this one is going to take a lot of collaboration. The union and government, whenever that time comes and you have to sit down to talk, because I'm sure the conversation, we cannot anticipate what it may be. We just have to wait. But as we always say, I am hoping that we do get to a point where we can agree as to how we move forward on this matter.
I agree with that. We must sit down at the table and talk, especially for the backlog. But I also want to say that not a lot of persons that really and truly entitled to pension, as the government comes out and say, especially those persons from before, those who have died. Not a lot of persons. And even right now, you have a lot of persons who retire and they weren't really entitled to a pension as yet. So they are waiting in the future to come. So yes, the backlog basically was because of government's negligence. Not only this administration, but a number of previous governments, they negligence in terms of not honoring what the Constitution said. So they got rid of it. and now it has been restored. What we observe as workers of this country, anytime it comes to honoring the responsibility of paying monies to workers, government always comes in front and say they do not have the monies. They have monies for everything else. Even in Grenada here, what we notice is also is like we have two public service. All right, you have the real one, and then you have another one running concurrently. So one asks themselves, well, where all this money is going? And if the government really and truly dig deep, they have to keep to their responsibility. Yes, we know that the government must take care of the ordinary citizens, not only just the workers, everybody. And we want the government to do so. But also give God what is due to God and Caesar what is due to Caesar. And give the workers, the teachers, and the public officers what is due to us. Yes, we must sit down, we must dialogue. But based on the ruling and everything like that, so what we deserve and what we expect is that workers get the due basically pension, gratuity and pension, and looking forward to that in the future. The government, and we must hasten to say, there is no question and dialogue in when the politicians sit down and get a pension after 2 terms, they get it. They don't say to us, we don't have money for that. They get all the other benefit from the state. Traveling allowance, this allowance, that allowance. Have we calculated for all these years and we put it together, the amount of monies and benefits that the politicians are getting? When it comes for them, there is no question about money and where it comes from. When it comes to the workers now, then the question arises, where would that money come from? And that is the sort of thing that we are facing in this country. We are the ones who work hard, and yes, the politicians must get a pension too, but the workers deserve it also.
All right, an agreed position. Mr. Bartholomew, that's one hurdle crossed. There are many more. The last time we spoke about the unestablished teachers, those that are not given that position. How do we move forward now? That is one. At least we are in a better place on the pension matter that was taken to the court. Moving forward, there are other matters on the table.
Yes, for regularization, I could tell you that the teachers are very, very, very disappointed because up to today, we haven't heard anything about the regularization of teachers. And it seems that the teachers are saying that this thing is becoming like a sort of game and a drag. So they were really disappointed because the government and the Ministry of Education, they put it on record, the government. It is on record there that for the first 3 months of the year, they're going to honor that. And teachers, or basically we cooperated with the Ministry of Education and the government of Grenada, giving them the chance and the opportunity for the 3 months, dialoguing and do everything that we can, all right, to see how we're going to solve this problem. And then now here comes now the end of March, and you see nothing basically. So I could tell you that the teachers have been calling, they are disappointed, they are hurt. Some of them are crying, some of them are in tears. And what it seems that it appears to be that the Grenada Union of Teachers, it seems that we have to probably try a new strategy because we've been talking and dialoguing and doing everything, all right, in the best interest of, you may say, the Ministry of Education, the government, or teachers on all sides to reach an amicable solution to that. And it seems that basically for the time being, it is not working. So probably we have to go back on the table with our members now and sit down and discuss what is the next move, a strategic move that we must use to move that needle. But I could tell you, teachers are disappointed. Both persons with their bachelors and masters, nothing there. And persons to be regularized, those temporary teachers for a long time, nothing there for the time being. So you could understand the level of disappointment, although we are celebrating that victory with the pension. But on the other hand now, when you're talking about regularization and upgrades, their teachers are disappointed and hurt.
All right, so that's another matter. That's another matter now that we were hoping we can get to. So I think we're going now in order, one at a time. One down, many more to come, but as a union, you continue to keep up the fight, continue to dialogue, continue to negotiate with the hope that we can get to a solution, or desired solution.
Yes, that is true. I mean, yes, you talk and you negotiate and everything like that. So, but you, at the same time, you just can't negotiate forever. All right, there comes a time when you negotiate, you want positive outcomes. All right, we want industrial peace and industrial climate in the country and in Grenada, which is healthy for our citizens, for everybody else, and for production. All right, but there comes a time, if you're negotiating, you're talking, you're doing everything, and you're seeing that you're not moving the needle, even as a teacher in the classroom, if you're doing something and you see that the children is not learning, or that the child is not learning with that strategy, you have to use something else. And basically from the classroom, as a teacher, it appears that we have to use other strategy to move that needle with regularization and with persons with upgrades with their masters and bachelors and other grievances that we have. Because we don't understand, when you have the state put in on record that they're going to solve these problems and teachers going to be regularized by March 31st, and people are looking forward to that date. The teachers who are to be regularized really and truly wanted to take action and wanted the Grenada Union of Teachers to take action, all right, to move the needle for this. And we said to the teachers, let's wait, let's hold on a while and see what the ministry and the government of Grenada is going to do with regularization, because they gave the commitment that they're going to do it by March 31st. And that could tell you the level of disappointment that the teachers are experiencing. So you could dialogue, you could communicate, you could meet around the table and everything. But after a while, you have to ask yourself the question, is it worth the while and what you are doing? You have to move the needle by using other strategies. So let's see what would happen. We have to meet with our teachers, our members, and discuss and chart the way forward with that situation.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Bartholomew. It's always a pleasure speaking with you, especially on this very topical one. Since the court ruling, we know that is what has been making the rounds. People are talking, expectations are high, and it is our hope that we can get to a medium, can meet on the table and agree to something as to how we move forward with this. Because I think we can all agree that, as they say, give Caesar what is due to Caesar, yes? So let us see how we can meet at some medium and get an amicable solution to this one.
And I just want to thank you very much and say tomorrow, Blizzard Friday, is a very special day that we're asking teachers and public officers and other workers, we're asking the police officers, prison officers to come out. We're going to give God thanks and praise and have a little worship and a little, celebration, all right, in St. George's. So we're asking persons, whether retired persons and everybody, to come out and in large numbers and let's celebrate. Let's give God thanks and praise, because basically that is God's work. That is divine intervention. And we want to thank God for that victory.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Mr. Bartholomew. I think you just gave us your parting was. Where are you having that worship session?
Worship and like a pension match and everything like that tomorrow, Blizzard in St. George's.
Okay.
So, yes.
Time to start?
At about 1:30.
1:30. Where do they meet? Where do you meet?
We're going to start probably by the National Stadium. I think we're going to start something.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Mr. Bartholomew. Always a pleasure speaking with you. This one, I think you can tip your hat to. It was a long struggle. Let's hope now that we do get to that position where we can say, okay, this is how we move forward. Yeah? Have yourself a good day, and thank you again for your continued contribution to the workers of Grenada, to our teachers and workers by extension.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're most welcome. There you had it, Mr. Jude Bartholomew, President of the Grenada Union of Teachers. A victory speaking there. Reaction to the court ruling on a positive outcome for workers and the reinstatement of pensions in the public service. Mr. Bartholomew there speaking to that. As we said, we have been hearing through many circles that the government is considering appealing the matter, the ruling, but the minister, as we heard here in MTV's newscast last evening, is saying that cabinet has made no decision. It's premature. They are now awaiting the written judgment from the matter, and then decisions will be made. So that's it from us this morning. Thank you so much for always being here with us. 2 discussions. Thank you to our guests, our sponsors, you who have joined us. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Thank you again. We see you again next week, Thursday. Next week, Tuesday, sorry. The team, Panchu, Elton, and Tanya. Thank you again for another successful one. It's the end of the month of March. Tomorrow, April 1st, we welcome a new month and the second quarter of the year. Let's be mindful about this. Let us try to help someone. Remember, there are still many, many people out there hurting. If you can do something to help, please do so. Don't walk away. Don't shy away from assisting someone today. Have a good day, everyone. Continue to be safe. Please continue to be safe. We are still in a pandemic. I am your host, Austin Crosby. We see you again next week, Tuesday, God's will.
Rise and shine.